Although most gamers are inundated with numerous blockbuster releases every year, which is especially true this fall thanks to the PS4 and Xbox One, there's still some games you can always go back to enjoy despite their age. We take a look at 5 games that will never get old. Touted by some as the best game ever created, Resident Evil 4 is held in high esteem by millions. Its controls and gunplay have inspired hundreds of games. Its combat is made highly enjoyable by creating several possible strategies to deal with enemies. Cutscene QuickTime events will have you on the edge of your seat, and the inventory system is incredibly clever. Resident Evil 4, a game that risked it all with innovation, truly set a benchmark upon its release in 2005. Metal Gear Solid 2 took the franchise to astronomical heights when it comes to the depth of experience. Its equally impressive production values complemented one of the boldest games to ever be released during the start of the 21st century. Creator Hideo Kojima showcased why he's one of the most gifted game developers in the industry, with an emotionally enthralling storyline, stunning visuals that push the PS2 beyond its boundaries, and satisfying stealth-based gameplay, all of which made Metal Gear Solid 2 the first classic of the 2000s. This title delivered on what really matters in games: fun. Not worrying about graphical fidelity in a cutscene-filled storyline that plagues games nowadays, Nintendo focused on allowing players to be immersed in an interactive, dynamic world that gave birth to everyone's favorite sequel, and indeed one of the finest video games ever made. And what about that amazing soundtrack, eh? Nintendo managed to combine that with individual levels that deliver more flair, diversity, and innovation than what developers build their entire games on. Sure, Rockstar's 7th Grand Theft Auto title may not have been the most graphically revolutionary game ever made, but its sheer boldness and dedication to the notion of an enjoyable game experience makes this the best GTA game ever, and undoubtedly one of the greatest video games ever made. Just with the game's weapons alone, you can indulge in hours of chaotic fun, whether that be guns, swords, or even tanks. From the gang wars, the lovable characters, and the huge range of activities that delivered freedom for a game that hasn't been replicated to the same level since, San Andreas will never get old. While the general consensus pertaining to Call of Duty as a whole is now just rehashed content, there's no complaining about the game that sparked the shooter craze. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare introduced a level of enjoyable multiplayer gameplay that has become difficult to replicate, even after nearly 7 years since its release. That just speaks volumes about how immersive this revolutionary FPS was and still is. Whether it was the satisfaction of stabbing a camper or getting a kill streak that just never seemed to end, COD 4 remains the greatest shooter to have ever been developed, and certainly a game that is entertaining players even after half a decade.